Hello and welcome back to the channel. In today's episode we're going to be taking a look at isometric projection. It's an introduction, so if you want to have a go at this at home you'll need to speak to your design teachers and see if they can lend you a sheet of A4 isometric grid paper. Now that might come in the form of a grid or it might come in the form of a series of dots. From my example today we're going to be using the grid paper, but the isometric dots works exactly the same. Okay, let's get started. Right, so I've taken this from a page of a booklet that I do at the academy that I work at, but it's something that we'll have a look at just to sort of get started, and shows you a few different tips as well. So just let's get straight into this. So isometric grid then, what is it? It's essentially a drawing style that allows you to sketch and draw final drawings really, or working drawings in 3 dimensions. And it has a few rules that we have to follow. So the first one being that they project their lines at 30 degrees. So the lines here, they come off at 30-degree angles like so. They move parallel. So this line here and this line here, they're parallel like a set of train tracks. They never touch. And to create your 3D objects, you'll have your vertical lines like I've got here. And then we would just strike a vertical line down the edge like that. And another one here. I mean, I can just join these dot to dot like so. And you end up creating this sort of open book sort of shape. So if we just put the pages in like this, you can kind of see what I mean, that sort of open book. Now, this allows us then to draw things in 3 dimensions like I talked about earlier. And this session is going to have a go at doing some basic simple shapes to begin with, and then work into more complex shapes. And when you're a bit more comfortable, then you can have a go at doing your own creations. Okay, so with a warm-up, I always like to tell the students to have a go at warming up first of all, so we're going to have a go at a 1 by 1. So starting somewhere down here at the bottom, I'm going to have a line that moves diagonally up to the right by 1, because we're talking about a 1 by 1 cube. So basically what I mean there is a 1 centimetre by 1 centimetre. So it's 1 centimetre across, 1 centimetre up, 1 centimetre diagonally back to the centre, diagonally down, straight down, and then joins back up again. Now, a few of you at home will probably be able to see the cuboid shape already, but if you can't, we're going to start back at the first point and go straight up by 1, diagonally to the right, and diagonally to the left, and we end up creating our 3-dimensional 1 by 1 cube. Let's have a look at that again, this time using 2 by 2. So essentially, and if you want to, I'll put a description down on the video link so that you can skip ahead of the tutorials if you're already familiar with this. So if you want to get straight into the activity, then you can, I'll put the timestamps down below. But here we go for 2 by 2. So essentially we go 1, 2 across, 1, 2 up. I can come back down again, 1, 2 like this, and 1, 2 like that. Now that's kind of like a window pane, so a little window there. That's how I'd probably start off. So we're working on 1 pane there. Then I would move it diagonally to this side, straight up by 2, and diagonally across by 2. I'm just joining those together. And then, oh look, I've got my open book. To finish it, 2 across, and then join those 2 back up again. So you can see there I've got that 3-dimensional shape, that 3-dimensional cuboid shape. And it's a 2 by 2. So what I mean by that is I've got, if I break it up, I've got 2 cubes there and 2 cubes there. So it's 2 by 2. And let's just finish that off by breaking it into all its sections, all its parts. So there you go, like a mini Rubik's Cube. Now speaking of Rubik's Cubes, let's have a look at seeing if we can go from here. So 1, 2, 3, and this, you see how I do it different every time? All I'm doing is I'm following these lines. So 1, 2, 3 like this, 1, 2, 3 like that. Now this time it just so happens that I've drawn the top. So imagine it like a road with some double yellow lines over there like that. So I've just drawn the top of the road, and then I'm going to see what's inside it. So we'll go 1, 2, 3 down below, 1, 2, 3 down below, 1, 2, 3 down below, and then just join those lines together. Now what we can do here, I suppose I can draw some little details in like this, and that could be the concrete, and then underground here like this could all be soil. And some of you at home might be thinking, oh crumbs, that looks a little bit like that video game by Mojang. Well, yes, that's essentially how base this whole game around isometric projection. So there's our 3x3. Now then, here's a little challenge for you. I'd like you to have a go at home creating these objects. What I'll do is let's send it into a capture. So what I'll do is I'll send it to the next screen, pause it at home, have a go at recreating these on your grid paper, and I'll meet you back here in a moment. Okay, hopefully you got on quite well there. I'm going to do a little demonstration here to show you two of those objects, and then I'm going to do a little bit of freestyling, and then I'm going to leave the rest up to you guys at home. So let's start with let's go for this guy over here. So essentially it's a 3x3, but I can see inside it, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 like this. Let's zoom in a bit. 1, 2, 3. So I'm basically recreating what I just did a moment ago in that demonstration, like this. Now of course using a ruler is going to help you make it look nice and neat. Now I'm going to put my pane like that. I'm going to put another one over here, and then we'll put one at the top like this. So at the moment that's just a cuboid with 3 like buttons on it. To make it look like it's see-through, I need to put this line in there like that, and this line, and then this line like this. Now the best way to make it look see-through is to shade it. So if you've got a pencil at home, then have a go at shading it. Now look how I shade this. You see how all those colours, those two colours there, have been shaded in the same tone. So if I then darken the tone a little bit and I shade that side, my object then starts to come to life. And then I suppose we could go for a really, really light tone on the top, and that's a top, and that a top. So the different planes, I've got 3 different planes. I've got this side, and then I've got the top, like that. Let's have a go at another one. This one's a little bit more complicated. Let's have a go at this final idea over here, shall we? So it's to start off with, we've got a 2. I'm going to do this bit here at the top first of all, and it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see I counted those up there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. And I know it's a 2x5, so I can join that up. This bit's going to be complicated because it's an angle that doesn't follow those isometric grid lines. So let's just have a look at this shape a minute and study that. So there's a trick to getting these lines on, and I'll show you that. So let's just do the rest of the object for now. 1, 2, 3 down, so 1, 2, 3 down like that. Looks like it goes across by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hopefully that can straighten up. There we go. I can see it goes up by 1, and then 1, 2, 3 back again. 1, 2, 3 back again. That makes sense because then I can join that together. And what's next then? We're going to go in by 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'll go straight up. So I'll go straight up there like that. Then I've got this little path here by the looks of things, and then I go across 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5. Yep. Like that, and we go up by 2. I think 1, 2, and then it's just I can see that shape from here. That's a 2x2. Oh dear. Right, now, once I've gotten to that part there, I can do this quite simply now. So remember I talked about those parallel lines, those lines like train tracks that never meet. I'm going to do the same thing here. And it's really easy. I just join this point to this point. So with a straight line like that, I just join those up. And then from this point to this point, I do the same thing again. So I know I made that look really easy, but essentially I'm going from this point to this point now. So I just put my ruler on, from this point to this point, like that. And there you go, bazinga, we've got it. And then just to finish off, I'm just going to put that line in there, and there he is. So let's nick these colours. So if that's the top, then that's the top, then that's the top, but also that will be as well. And let's nick this nice light grey. So that's going to be in that colour, That's going to go there. I suppose we could put that like that, or it's going to have a little shadow on it, I suppose, so we can do it like that, perhaps. And then this one, of course, will be the darkest, like that. Of course, you need to remember that you need to fill that line in there, otherwise it won't fill up. So there you go. So there's that one that was quite tricky. Okay, let's have a go at a bit of freestyle then. Very quick little freestyle here. So now we can draw pretty much anything we like. So imagine that we were going to draw something for like a video game level. So here we are, just drawing. And let's just keep it 2 by 2 for now. Like that. Oops, a bit too far. Let's see if I can straighten that up. And as long as I follow these lines, I'm always going to end up drawing something in 3 dimensions. So there's that, and we'll put that there as well. So there's our top plane, where the road might go. I mean, I could even put on here where the roads, little road markings like this. And this could be a game, you know, a platform game like Mario or Sonic, in isometric. Then we need to make it 3D, so we'll come down by 2. Just makes things nice and simple for now. Like that. And then I'll come down here by 2. So you'll see that I'm actually finishing off that plane there. And then I'll come round and do the rest. So I can see that that needs some depth. That can go in now, and that comes down like that to make that 2 by 2. Of course, then I can come in here, and you see how I'm sort of following this line still. I'm still technically following these lines like that. So there we go. Now let's get a bit of shading on it now, the shadow. So this could all be concrete like that. Actually, let's get it right there, Mr. Davey. You've missed that bit. And you can colour this in with crayons at home if you've got them. I suppose you could use markers if you've got graphic markers, and use some graphic markers. There's a bit of soil in there for a little road. And then of course we can add other things like traffic lights, what have you. So if we look here, I'm actually going to recreate this object, and I'm still following these lines like that. And let's just finish it off now. Let's just go for... Oops, don't want to do that. I want to turn that green, thank you. And then I'll just show that in. So there we go, that's how we could do. I mean, you could use all of your isometric paper and create this really fantastic sort of creation over here. I mean, it would look amazing if you did like an entire sort of street scene. But there we are, let's finish off there and head back to home base. Okay, so fairly short video this week. It's going to be about 15 minutes, hopefully, all in told. Once I've finished jibber-jabbering on about the ending. But that's isometric projection for you, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that, just in time for the battery to run out. So, what have we learnt in today's session? We've looked at isometric projection. We've learnt about the fact that we project lines off at 30 degrees, and that it's a way of drawing in 3 dimensions, and it's a nice way to finish ideas off. We've looked at how to draw things see-through. We've looked at how to connect lines that aren't necessarily going to be in isometric, and we've looked at how to use the freedom of this drawing style to create something unique. Hopefully you guys have had a great opportunity to do this at home as well. Don't forget to ask those teachers at schools to lend you their isometric paper. Until the next time, stay safe, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye now.